Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. It is a Tuesday. We'll have Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show here in just a minute. If you missed it last night, 49ers do what the 49ers do to the Jets. Without Christian McCaffrey, just, man, I love watching Kyle Shanahan dial up plays. Very creative guy. Yeah. You're looking at a Kansas City, San Fran Super Bowl, probably. Also, if you never watched Peyton and Eli, you got to watch them. Just good stuff. They had Belichick on. He'll be on every Monday night with them as well. Let's go to the Titan MR hotline, and we're joined by good old Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. You can check Buddy out every weeknight on all your different podcast platforms at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's happening, Buddy? How you feeling, my man?
Good morning, Shane. I'm feeling better, and it's a good day, but it's a great day when you feel like maybe you don't have COVID. I think I might have passed it, and I'm looking forward to that. Just goes to show you what our expectations should be when it comes to life and football. You just want to be better than yesterday, and it is certainly better than yesterday for me in terms of the health. And I'd say that the college football is better than it was a couple of days ago, based on what we saw. A lot of people are excited about the situation at Florida with the quarterbacks, and I can't wait to see how it turns out, but it's got to be on the plus side.
Yeah, it's a much better feeling this week when you win a football game. And obviously DJ played well, got people excited. And now the real season starts. SEC play with Texas A&M rolling in here. Interesting to see what Mike Elko and his crew have to offer. But let's go back to the Samford game, buddy. I guess you weren't there. You were dealing with COVID.
I was.
You watched the game.
I did.
Just your assessment of just first of all of the team, and then DJ.
Well, first of all, the assessment of TV. Getting the game. When you get one of those games like that, you never know.
How did you get the game, buddy? Because it wasn't on like ESPN, SEC Network.
Yeah.
Did somebody have to help you hook it up?
No one helped me, but I tell you what, it was a battle. And I have had ESPN Plus before. For whatever reason, and I couldn't get it to hook up. It didn't sync up, but I was working an hour before the game, looking at all kind of platforms, saying, I'm not going to miss this game. And finally, I think I signed up for 3 different things. Excuse me, trying 3 different things before I finally got it. I got it on ESPN Plus, and I think I was subscribed to Furbo or something, to about 3 different things to make sure I got it. And I watched it on my computer. My TV would not bring it up, even with ESPN Plus. For some reason, it did before, now it didn't. So I went on and got on my computer and watched the whole game on my computer. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a pretty good telecast. And you don't think about these things in the hinterlands of Gator fans who are out there trying to dial the game in on a game like this. They're not sure how to get it, and it's confusing. And these rules change from year to year, and the networks go from one to the other. It's hard. But I watched the game. I enjoyed the game, and I'm anxious to see where this next chapter takes us, because it's fun again to watch a Gator football game. I think you got a shot now. You know that with Thagway, and I heard you talk about it last night on the show, and there's a lot of buzz about this young man. And I don't know, Shane, are our expectations too high already?
No, I just think. Here's the thing: is everybody knows he was a good player. He's the Gatorade National Player of the Year, so we knew he was going to be a good player, and he made some really good throws, as I mentioned on my show. but let's pump the brakes just a little bit because I don't. It's not right to take away from what he did because you still have to throw and catch and block and tackle all
Right.
that stuff.
Right.
But it was Samford. Okay. We really didn't have much trouble blocking them. They were not very good in the secondary. They had several busted coverages. We ran right by them, but take nothing away from that. It's going to be different athletes moving forward the rest of the time. So I firmly believe, I have no inside information, but I think they'll start Graham Mertz. I think DJ will play a lot. We'll see how it goes. Again, I continue to say this. I said it on my show. I said it on Steve Russell's show yesterday, and I said it on your show last night. There's so many other issues to me regarding this football team to win games than the quarterback.
But it's a more positive outlook now. I know
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct, and we got to put it in context. It was Samford, not Stanford, by the way. Samford, and
I don't think Stanford would have been much
obviously
better.
true. And he did. Here's the thing, Shane, and you've taught me this, and Coach Spurrier's taught me this. I don't care if it was routes on air. The plays I saw, and you actually said this, the greatest throw you'd ever seen in the swamp. Now, with this caveat, you pointed out you haven't seen that many games in the swamp. But the
Yeah. So
pass to Mizell was something to behold, something we should dissect, look at again, and say, "Wow, how many quarterbacks have Florida had who could make that throw?"
right. So I want to back up to that because I did tweet that out, and Zach, or maybe I said it on Steve's show, and Zach put it out there.
Yeah,
It's the best throw I've ever seen in the swamp. One, because, and I said I don't think any Spurrier quarterback could make it because no Spurrier quarterback would have thrown off balance and off his front leg jumping
right.
like that because we were fundamentally sound. That's where I was going with it. Also, I never watched a Spurrier quarterback play in the swamp because I was playing in the National
Right.
Football League.
Right.
So I never started being able to watch games in person until 2007. So some people take stuff out of context, but regardless of that, it was a great throw. But here's what I need to see more of DJ. Okay. Because we all loved Anthony Richardson's deep ball, right? The splash plays. But the consistency is what matters most. And
Right.
DJ was very consistent the other night. But can he throw the 20-yard dig route, then come back and throw a flat route, then throw a swing, then the 8-yard pass over the middle to the tight end? All these being accurate and ball out of my hand. Once we see that, now we can evaluate what kind of player he is. The fan, especially the young fans and even the older fans, they get excited for, the chicks dig the long ball, right? Buddy, remember that old commercial?
Absolutely.
Everybody loves that.
Great.
Everybody loved that about Anthony, but there was no other consistency there. And I'm not saying DJ won't be there. We just need to see it before we get real excited because
it's a valid point. It's a valid point. And you did say dial Richardson back. I was to the moon with Richardson. I thought he was the guy. And you kept telling me, well, I don't know. Why? Well, he's been hurt a lot, and you had some doubts about Anthony Richardson. And we're not saying that DJ Lagway is a finished product or that he's going to deliver this to the promised land. But since Kyle Trask, there hadn't been a whole lot of real great spectacular plays at the quarterback position. Yeah. You said time and again, the guy got to throw it downfield. I like the way the guy takes the team out of the huddle. I liked him from day one, first time I laid eyes on him. I'd been hearing about him, and I said to you, there's something special about this young man. And he took command right away out of the huddle and began bombs away. I loved it. I think it's exciting. I don't expect perfection. I'm grateful for what I've seen and what we might see next.
Yeah. Let me get to some of these YouTubes brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Mark says Doug Johnson could make that throw. No, he couldn't. If he was doing his correct, again, let me rephrase what I talked about. If you watch DJ throw, he throws in an unorthodox way of throwing the football. I said it all summer long, buddy. Did I not say he has kind of a strange throwing motion?
You did.
And that's what I'm talking about. He jumped off his front foot and made that throw. I don't think anybody, Doug, Rex, or anybody could do that because they would not even try it because that's not fundamentally sound.
Can't teach it. You can't teach that.
No, it's a unique way, and it's kind of a scary way, but he made a great throw. So, Barone 71 says Lagway needs to work on his mechanics. He relies too much on his arm strength only. Once he learns how to polish up his footwork and body movement, he'll be. I don't know if he can change. Sometimes you can't change if you've been.
Sometimes you mess the guy up.
Yeah. So, and then somebody here said, Christopher on YouTube, brought you by PodUp, says, QB, I know you said Mertz can make all the NFL throws, but I haven't seen it in 13 games from Mertz. He can. Did you watch Brock Purdy last night? Mertz's arm is probably stronger than Brock Purdy's. Brock Purdy one-hopped a bunch of routes. You don't have to make every throw in the NFL. Again, consistency is more important at the quarterback position than splash plays. You will hear me say that. You will ask any coach, they want consistency. And again, everybody wants me to compare Anthony to DJ. DJ is a way more polished quarterback and thrower right now than Anthony was at that time, in my opinion. Anthony was never consistent. He hasn't been consistent at the National Football League. You know, you saw the clips yesterday of him throwing at 65, 70 yards off his back foot. Okay. People love that. Was it an unbelievable throw? Absolutely it was. But that's not going to continue to have you be a top-notch quarterback if you don't make all the other throws on a consistent basis. And this is not a shot at him. There's a ton of guys like that. So I just want to King says DJ played baseball in high school. He can sling the ball accurately. I didn't say he couldn't. We're talking about his fundamentals, dude. All right. All right, buddy, let's get to some of these texts on the Titan Mark text line. Kevin says, Billy's in a tough place, but come on, guys. DJ's special. He made some level 2 throws we haven't seen in a while. I guess I'm very critical of quarterback play. I thought all the throws he made were easy throws except for the one to Aiden Mizell.
Right.
I think those are throws that most quarterbacks should make in college football. What I liked the most about the game was that we called these damn plays.
Yeah,
I think that's what people need to focus on is, are we going to play our fastest wide receivers?
Yeah.
Are we going to try to push the ball down the field?
And call the ball plays.
Or are we going to do this because we knew we could block Samford and we could run right by Samford?
Right.
That's what people need to focus on. This is from 941. He wants to know, Kelby Collins played 7 plays, Austin Barber 24. Where are they? I don't know. I don't understand the rotation. Josh in Mississippi on the Titan Mark text line says, buddy, he wanted me to ask you why the staff continues to rotate players and not play the best players until they're tired.
Well, I think we both want to see more of that. And I think they're feeling their way along, trying to figure out who to play. They certainly got a better idea after this past weekend. They even puts routes against air. You said last night you love the pass game with the right 3 receivers in there. You know, they got the right 3 guys in there. You can attack. What I love about this guy is he gets the ball out quick and gets it to the right guy. And he's just fun to watch. By the way, here's a question for you, Shane. This was raised this morning by Nick Delatorre of On 3. Did Billy actually say that he was going to start DJ? Because the language is unclear. And he says, what exactly did Billy say? He says, Napier never explicitly said Graham Mertz would start this week. I have to go back and look at that, see what he did say, but it sure sounded that way. And
I'm more concerned is, can we block these guys and can we control their offensive line? That's what concerns me about trying to. That's all that matters about winning this game. Van Der wants to know on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, I would love to have you compare Lagway to Chris Lee. I don't think there's any comparison right now. Chris, phenomenal thrower of the football, extremely accurate, had great touch. We need to see more.
Not DJ. A runner. Chris Lee was not a runner.
No. He's talking about throwing the football. I mean, Chris is our all-time leading passer. He could flat out throw the football. There's no question about that.
National championship.
All right. So Kyle says, what does Mertz do better than DJ? I had somebody ask this, maybe it was on Steve's show yesterday. How could he have started Graham Mertz over DJ when they've been here for 8 months? I will tell you this again. I went to about 3 or 4 practices in both scrimmages. It was not even a close competition. DJ would make one great throw and then 5 horrible plays. Now, does that mean anything? No, because the games are all that matters. Okay. So, buddy, if you would have gotten to go to practice like you wish most media people, you would have you would have been like, there's no way they're going to play DJ. No way. This is not a knock on DJ, because our in my opinion, the best quarterback to ever play here was he was a true freshman my senior year, was a terrible practice player. He wore number 7. Okay, won a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah,
when the lights came on, he was a different player. So maybe that's what DJ is, But the assessment and the evaluation from what I saw in practices and scrimmages, I would not have played DJ at all, because he wasn't ready. But again, he played well against Samford. I will leave it at that.
Well, Shane, shout out to the coaching job they did to get him ready. I mean, let's give credit whoever did that. I guess it was Billy. And for me, I look for different things. I don't necessarily have to see a skill set about reading defenses or whatever, but I see a guy whose natural ability excites me. When I see how he handles the ball, how he throws, how he leads other players. Shane, across the board, the team was better when he was on the field. And the really good players rose up another level. That's what I like to see. That told me something about it. And I mentioned Jaden Rashada, the running back, Ball.
Jaden Ball.
I told you I liked him just on the what little few clips I saw of him in the Orange and Blue game. He did not disappoint what I saw, Shane.
No, he's a good player. Brett and Jack says, good morning, Shane. I think DJ should start because A&M has to defend more of the field with the deep ball being in play. They can't play 8 in the box. Well, nobody's played us 8 in the box yet this year. And again, I want to go back. I don't care if Buddy Martin plays quarterback. You have to call the plays that we did the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to happen when we play SEC caliber players, is my point. I'm hoping it is, but I've said it 1,000 times, buddy. I'm gonna see if you've been paying attention over the years. What is the easiest throw to make in football?
Deep throw, deep ball.
The deep ball. The deep ball. It is the safest throw in football.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we got that now. We got we
got it if we call it. Again, we have not. We called 2 against Miami. We missed them both. Okay, right. You're not going to hit them. You're not going to hit them all every time you call them. That was kind of a unique thing the other day. But I'm more concerned about, will we call those type of plays moving forward?
Well, the explosiveness is there. I don't know if it's there against A&M the way it was against Samford. But like I said, routes on air. Put the ball up, you throw and catch it. It's impressive to see it. And there's talent there. There's no doubt about the fact there's talent at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, I've been preaching Mizell. I need speed. If I'm a quarterback, I need dudes that I know I can throw a slant or any route and they can score. I like Elijah Badger. I think he's a good player, good solid receiver, possession type guy. Good hands, runs routes okay at times. But I would never run him on a double move, because Mizell and Trey Wilson would have scored easily on that out and up.
But Wilson looked so good on that touchdown, didn't he? Wow.
Yeah, he can run. Chris from Cottondale says, I totally agree with you on the wide receiver. We need to play the speedy guys. That's a game changer for it. Yeah, I mean, it makes the game totally different. It's just, you got to have them. You got to have them. So anyway, Electronics World, integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment, affordable local installation service and support. Electronicsworld.com or .net. I'm sorry. We got Buddy here on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. And Justin says QB legways throw to the tight end on the seam route over the linebacker's head was an impressive read, throw, and ball placement. I agree. However, it was a busted coverage by Samford. The safety went with the motion. It was supposed to be a too high. Not taking anything away from his throw. I don't care if it was Buddy making the throw. People have to look at the whole big picture. It was a great read, great throw. Again, those throws are, I think they're easy throws. My point is the whole to the story is we need to call these plays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Think Billy will?
No.
You don't think he will?
Buddy. Okay, so I want to say, was that when did we play Eastern Washington? 2 years ago, maybe?
Maybe at least 2 years.
I feel like we opened it up because I remember Pearsall catching like 2 deep posts for touchdowns, running a reverse, maybe a reverse pass in that game. I feel like he opens it up against the FCS
That's
schools.
likes. Yeah.
And I hope I'm wrong moving forward.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of our people, they really watch tape or they watch games and they have all these stats and they could prove me wrong, but I don't remember us really. I mean, we threw a bunch of deep balls against South Carolina last year, I think, if I remember correctly. Hit some of those.
How many against Utah 2 years ago?
Well, we didn't throw deep balls against Utah in 2 years, period.
No.
So,
well, let me ask you this question, Shane.
Yeah.
How many snaps do you think DJ will actually take?
I have no idea.
And the other question is, if he does go out and play really well, and puts a couple of touchdowns on the board, what is it? Would Billy have the courage to make the change and bite the bullet?
Look, here's Billy. Here's Billy's job. Billy is under fire to remain the coach at the University of Florida.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Billy, whether I don't know what his decision is going to be, but whoever he starts, and starting may not matter. It may be whoever he plays the most tells you if he's trying to. Well, I know he's trying to win the game, but look, it's his team. I don't think he's trying to lose the game, is my point. But somebody here just said their concern is about the defense, not who's starting at quarterback. And I agree 1000% with that. 31 Ember says easy throws, yet Mertz can't make them. I don't. Okay. I'm not taking up for Graham. This is for any quarterback. Graham threw at a high percentage last year. I think it was a school record. He missed a few throws against Miami, and now everybody, and then DJ hits all these throws against Samford. Okay. It's night and day. I'm not taking up for Graham, and I don't want to diminish what DJ did, but I look at throws that, and here's the thing, we don't call enough basic stuff down the field to hit them. Anyway, let's get off that subject. I mean, nobody's going to hear what I'm saying. Everybody, it's too hard to explain. It's too hard to explain.
We want to hear what you're saying, Shane, because you're their resident.
I don't think a lot of the throws that we are asked to make in this offense are difficult.
Okay, that's fair.
For any quarterback. Well, now, do you make crazy throws? Yes. But those aren't throws you want to continue making. Scott wants to know, is Armstrong still part of the staff? Yes. Yes, he is. All right. Hang on, buddy. We had a million texts here. I'm just trying to pick and choose a few of them here for you.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll talk about Chris Storing's history lesson, learning about who Wally Pipp was. He'd never heard of Wally Pipp, and I understand a lot of people haven't. It's before their time. It's before my time, but we all heard about Wally Pipp. Chris got called flat-footed yesterday on the quiz they had on SEC Nation. Who was Wally Pipp? And Chris had him down for being a football player.
Dory should have known better than that.
Yeah. So, of course, for those who don't know, there may be some who don't understand. Wally Pipp was the first baseman who got a headache one day and decided to sit out a game for the Yankees. And some guy named Lou Gehrig moved in behind him and never left. 2,000 games. He set the record. Wally Pipp was never heard from. So the question is, did did Graham Mertz get it while he pipped? I don't think so. I think we saw he'd be playing. The question I think is fascinating is as we watch this thing grow, how much more can Graham Mertz, how much more can DJ Lagway grow before he becomes the challenger to the starting job? It almost doesn't matter who starts. What matters is playing time and how many reps they're going to take. And I'm excited just to see number 2 in the game. I love watching him play football. And after all, in the end, that's what it is with us. We don't go to the ballpark expecting Florida to win a national championship, but we sure like to see some good ball plays. And I think Mertz now and being in the equation makes football a lot more fun for Gator fans.
Yeah, and this text here, he says, explain it to them, Shane. You can call a great play all day. If it doesn't work, especially when you don't execute. Yeah. So again, Billy could call a great play against Texas A&M with DJ at quarterback, and it may not work. He could call a great play with Graham at quarterback. It may not work. He could call a play with freaking Tebow. It may not work. Not every play works is what I'm trying to say. So I'm a huge Kyle Shanahan guy. Brock Purdy's pretty damn good, is he not, buddy? I know you don't watch the NFL.
Oh, yeah. No,
okay.
I did.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy missed a ton of throws last night. Okay. By the way, there's these 2 guys that played on Sunday Night Football called Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, 2 of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
They missed a couple throws, but they're accurate as heck. But they don't wow people with 80-yard throws. They play quarterback. And so we need to see DJ play quarterback. We don't the splash plays are great because like I said, the chicks dig the long ball. We need consistent play. And I'm not saying he can't. We just haven't seen enough of him. I just think people get way too excited over the splash plays. That's what I call them, the splash plays.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I'm not knocking DJ, so I don't want anybody to send a damn text or any of that because we got excited when Anthony did the splash plays. Yes or no?
No doubt about it. We did.
Okay. That's where I'm going with this. Not just Anthony, but it's no different than Dion's kid. Splash play. And then, whatever. Consistency is the most important thing about playing quarterback, besides your accuracy and your anticipation. So,
by the way, there was a quarterback who played last night who you didn't mention all the hoopla about Aaron Rodgers. He did not look like a happy camper last night.
Well, he didn't play well.
I know, no kidding. That's my point.
Okay. Yeah. And he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
This is Zach and Jack says, Shane, do we somehow tip our corner blitzes every time we do it? They read it about and throw right at it. No, it's in college football, because the hash marks are so wide, you can only bring a corner blitz to the short field, and the safety gives it away. The safety always gives it away because he has to go cover the receiver when the corner comes. And it's film study. I mean, it's tipped off very easily in college football. Do you think they are playing the best talent on defense? Because to me, Watson can't be one of the best. I don't know if it's due to, I don't know why. Like I've said on this show 1,000 times, nothing against Desmond Watson. I do not think he needs to be playing SEC football. But again, I also think we play way too many players. I said on Steve Russell's show yesterday, buddy, because everybody talks about, Austin Barber not playing the entire game. In my entire 3-year career under Steve Spurrier, if I had the same offensive line the entire game, unless somebody had a broken arm and was out for the year or whatever, we never changed linemen unless a lineman was getting his ass beat and they said, you're out for the rest of the game. Never. We never changed our wide receivers. We knew who our top 5 wide receivers were. The only time it changed was whether it was our personnel for a certain group, or if a guy ran a deep route, he just goes to the sideline, another guy come on. I do not understand it. I do not understand it at all why we do it.
Well,
Now,
Gonzalez always rotated his receivers.
this is not just receivers. I'm talking about every damn position on the field.
Yeah,
we rotate, in my opinion, way too much, and it's unnecessary. Play your best players every play.
Why are they rotating? They don't know who the best players are, probably.
Mullen did the same thing. And I don't know if it's because they try to keep everybody happy. Now they're paying everybody, so everybody has to earn their money. I don't know, but I am so against it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why we do it. I have no idea. It's bizarre to me.
Jackson, beautiful touch over the middle. So bad at football.
What are you watching there, buddy?
No, I just turned on my Twitter account, whatever you call it anymore, to see what's really latest news and what's going on. That's all. Well, I can't get over a Notre Dame. Oh, man, can you imagine? Talk about being disappointed in your team.
Yeah. This is this right here says, morning QB. In your coaching career, did you ever have a QB situation, one very experienced and one super talented but not experienced yet? I guess it's a good problem to have. No, mostly in my high school days, I knew who my quarterback was going to be. When I was at the XFL, I wasn't calling plays until after the fourth game. I called them the last 7 games. I played my quarterback, but the head coach wanted to put in another guy periodically, which I was totally against. Could not play, and the players knew he couldn't play, and it just messed things up. But this is not the same thing. You got two really good players. Again, let's focus on blocking and tackling. That's what's going to win the Gators, win the game against the Aggies. Blocking and tackling.
It's not very sexy to talk about, but
I know it's not. But that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying, but I got to say that the game is different now with this other kid involved, and I'm excited to watch what will happen. I feel pretty confident something will happen. It seems like it's been an eternity since we saw some good quarterback play, but it wasn't that long ago that Kyle Trask was ready to get up. We forget how much better life was with a guy like that in the game, give you a chance. So we'll see how it translates. And I used this example last night. If I've got time, I'll use it again about when you got 2 quarterbacks, all the cliches come into play. You got 2, you got none. That's not true. Spurrier proved that to be wrong. But the fact is that you got one guy who's got enormous talent and a future. The other guy's got the experience, but is not going to be playing there another year. Which way do you go? You don't sacrifice the guy who gave you the best he had. But when it becomes apparent that the guy's talent of the young guy overrides the experience of the other guy, you got to make the move. And I went back into the archives last night with you and said there was a guy named Steve DeBerg who played like 4 teams, playing for the Denver Broncos, had started the season when this young cat named Elway showed up. And of course, Elway's talent was enormous. We all knew he would take over at some point. And it was the day I talked to DeBerg, and I asked DeBerg about what he thought would happen in terms of their competition at quarterback. And he made a very honest statement. It's just a matter of time before Elway's talent overcomes my experience. And that's what happened in that season. The starting quarterback in the first game was John Elway, his rookie season. So I don't know if there's that short a string involved with these 2 quarterbacks or not. I suspect Billy will play them both the rest of the season, don't you?
Possibly. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Sandra says here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law. Scott Carter said yesterday that Billy's offensive coordinator called plays for the Miami game, and Billy called the plays. I was told that too. This was before the Samford game even kicked off.
Said what now?
The word was that
Russ Callaway
called the plays against Miami, and Billy said, "I'm calling the plays for the Samford game."
Well, so that's if Callaway called him, because it was not a good game.
Yeah. Somebody asked here, did I meet some people when I played in the XFL? I didn't play in the XFL, Barone. I was lucky enough to play in the NFL for 14 years somehow. Oh, Kyle wants me to ask you this. I did see this. I thought it was interesting. Buddy and Shane, did you see where Lane Kiffin was calling out Ole Miss fans for leaving the game early? I did see that.
I
He's
missed.
not happy with their fan base at all.
Well, Lane, get used to it. You're a lead
No,
dog.
I agree with him though.
Well, yeah, no, you don't want it, but you want to see it, but you don't get everything you want. You don't get everything you want. You're trying to
Well,
start.
no, his point is that the fans leave at halftime and don't come back.
Yeah, they'll go get a hot toddy.
Yeah. Well, you can drink in the stadium there a
Yeah,
lot, whatever you want.
of the Grove.
All right. R.W. Schaefer says Coach Dan Mullen looks damn great right now. Has a great football coach ever been rehired? Oh, yeah. Schools have rehired coaches. We're not hiring Dan Mullen.
No, that's not going to happen. There's people forget there was the show cause against him.
No.
Don't forget he was
R.W.
in
says
trouble.
Pat Dooley's podcast compares Mertz to Shane
What's that?
Matthews and DJ Lagway to Tim Tebow. That's funny.
I missed that. What did you
Greg
say?
says, who do you blame the play calling on? Play calling is on the entire offensive staff, and it's on the defensive staff when you don't play. Look, I want to rephrase this or reemphasize. Not every play works. Okay. Has anybody ever thrown a perfect game in football? No, it doesn't happen. So
Well, Shane, I
anyway,
was talking to a friend of mine the night before last, a very astute Gator fan. We had this discussion off the air, and that Billy has a unique way of masking things so you don't know exactly who's doing what. So you can't put a target on them because you don't know who's doing this. Who's this? He didn't want to have a special teams coach. Remember, they don't want to tell you who's calling the plays. And it's like, okay, we're not going to let you really know. That's why guys like Edgar and Mark Long have to dig all the time to ask these
yeah.
questions because he didn't volunteer the information. It's like he wants to keep it all kind of subterfuge. It's the Nick Saban School of Coaching, and that's where he comes from.
Yeah, Kyle says, Facebook Live brought to you by Mel. Shane, did you see any players that stood out to you on defense against Samford? I think our two linebackers, Shamar James and Pup Howard, have really been flying around.
How about
I think
Jordan
Jason,
Gumps?
yeah, I mean, look, take nothing away from Samford. They're not very good. I was shocked. This Samford team has gone way downhill. I think Jason Marshall Jr.'s played outstanding football this year, like all conference level. No, I mean, Miami never even targeted. So defense, we'll see. I mean, we're not going to play a great offense this week. It'll be a physical offense, but they're very similar to us. They got a 5-star quarterback that was highly touted a couple years ago. He has not lived up to the billing. They're very conservative on offense. I would say this would be like a defensive struggle, but I'm hoping we can stop their rushing attack. That's going to be key.
It's a good safety play. I'll tell you that. Good tackling, good safety play.
Ryan on YouTube says these are the questions that crack me up. Would Mertz have had the same performance against Samford that DJ had? Nobody knows. I mean, we don't know. I will say this, and this is whether I've said it a million times. Out of all the deep throws, I feel like those were easy throws for quarterbacks at the collegiate level or even high school level. Guys were open, except the one throw to Aiden Mizell.
And Burst doesn't make that throw. He doesn't make that.
No, I nobody makes that throw. But again, that's the splash play, and that's great. But the other ones, we called good plays. We ran right by their guys, and we had tremendous separation. That makes throwing the football so much easier. Now, Graham could have missed them. He could have hit them. Hell, Aiden Warner could have hit them. He could have missed them. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, that's a silly question.
Why do we care?
We don't. I don't. I'm just answering the question.
I'm just saying, why does he care? Because look, just be grateful that you got what you got, man. Watching a guy like that play, that's a joy to see a young talent develop like that. To be there for it and watch what he does. I'm excited really to watch Gator football now with this guy as the future.
Kevin's question: if you guys coach Texas A&M, would you fear more Mertz or DJ? I don't think it is more about the quarterback. It's like I don't think they would bring a bunch of crazy blitzes against Mertz. They would against DJ because of his lack of experience. Look, they're going to play what they play. They don't care who the quarterback is. I think that is. I've always thought this. Everybody talks about if you got a running quarterback and a throwing quarterback. Do you not think the defense knows that when player X comes in, he is the runner?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never understood why people think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So they're going to play their defense. They're going to be well coached and on that side of the ball. All right, buddy, who you got on your program tonight?
Well, tonight I'm sitting this one out. Lauren Meadows is going to sit in for me, and he's got the usual Tuesday night cast, and we'll be letting him carry the ball. I'm taking the night off and trying to get one more day behind me with COVID. So they should have a good show tonight. They always do on Tuesday nights. I'll be back Wednesday with Allie and David Moulton and the guys. So just excited to get back in the game, Shane.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish with this one. Text from Daryl on the Titan More text line. Shane, do you think Billy? I'm going to ask you this too, buddy. I'm going to ask you this first. He wants to know: do we think Billy coaches tight in big games?
I don't know. He probably coaches the same way in every game. I'm not saying it's established that he has not wanted to throw the ball deep. Now, if it's true that he didn't call the plays against Miami, and that he did against anybody can see that the opportunity was there against Samford. I don't know if I can make that charge. You said to me before, and I trust you, that you had no problem with his play calling last year.
Well, I see, but people take that out of context. Did I love it? No. But it's just like people say, well, you said there was no problem with the offense last year. Well, there wasn't when you look at the three phases of football team. There's three phases for people that aren't aware. You have an offense, I have a defense, and a special teams. Was special teams any good last year? No. Was defense any good last year? Hell no. Offense any good? Not great, but they were the best part of the team. So they were not the problem. Okay. But to answer the question, I don't know if he coaches tight. I think he coaches, that's what he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a conservative offense that wants to run the football.
The irony is that he was made his most famous quote before he got to Florida was "Scared money don't make money."
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't fit his personality at all to me. I thought it may he did. I don't know. The jury's still out on Billy's play calling. Let's see when he's got the tools what kind of plays he calls.
Yeah, and then I want to address this again because these are the kind of things that drive me nuts. King says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Billy has to do better with timeout usage and play calling. He called a timeout after a kickoff. Okay,
I agree with that.
But do you know why he called the timeout after? It wasn't after a kickoff. It was at he called a timeout at the beginning of the fourth quarter, or maybe it was the third quarter. No, it was the fourth quarter. Do you know after a clock stoppage, go from this side of the field there and there. Yeah. We go out and he calls a timeout. Do you know why, buddy?
No. Why?
Because Trey Wilson lined up incorrectly and everybody is screaming at him, but he has his back to us, to the sideline. Buddy calls timeout. I mean, Billy calls timeout. I've never seen him. He chewed his ass out. Then Billy turned to Billy Gonzalez and chewed his ass out. But that's because the player didn't line up correctly.
Yeah.
So everybody's blaming that on Billy Napier.
Yeah.
Which I understand. You don't want to call timeouts when you don't need to.
Right.
But it's not because they weren't organized or whatever. And I'm not taking up for Billy. I'm taking up to trying to coach football here.
It's valid. It's very valid. Yes. I didn't know that.
Oh, my God. I've never seen him chew people out.
Well, maybe that's what they need.
Well, I think that's overrated as well. But when you screw up coming out of a sideline timeout.
Embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, buddy, get well, my friend.
Thank you.
You'll be able to find the game this Saturday easily.
I will.
It's on ABC, buddy.
I will. I'll be listening to you and watching the game.
All right. Good stuff, buddy. Appreciate the time, my friend. That's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan No More hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Take a quick time out, come back. I'm going to try to get to all these texts and stuff, folks. Appreciate you chiming in. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills.
Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Gridiron sponsors, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Electronics World, F45. Our touchdown sponsors, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Aikido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Miapa Latin Cafe, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Nest and Wild.
If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Miapa Latin Cafe. Discover the ultimate Cuban culinary experience at Miapa Latin Cafe. With 5 locations in Gainesville, Alachua, you're never far from the best Cuban food north of Miami. Appreciate Buddy join us on the Titan MR hotline. John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mello, Billy wasn't ever a good OC. He was fired because of his play calling was terrible. Dabo, where'd that go? It went away. Well, what I like to tell people, don't get mad at Billy Napier because he was hired at Florida. That's not his fault. I mean, if somebody offered you $7 or $8 million to coach, would you turn it down? Just saying. Just saying. RW says, Greg, Paul Feinbaum reports Lane Kiffin would take the Gator head coaching job if offered. Well, yeah, he would. All right. C. Irby says, QB, most HBCs have big egos. Kiffin definitely does. If Napier goes, do you think the fact that the last 4 coaches have failed at UF could entice Lane to come and try to be the guy? Look, we don't know what's going to happen, but I will tell you this. Lane is the modern day Spurrier, and people worry about his recruiting. I would not give 2 craps about his recruiting because the game has changed, folks. It's all about transfer portals. Yeah, you'll get a few guys here and there, but this is the job Lane has always wanted. And I don't know if it'll happen or not. Ole Miss has a lot of money. If that were to happen, he would be the highest paid coach in America. Braun says the state of the program is pathetic. It all goes back to Foley neglecting football and handpicking Strickland to be the AD. All their poor hires and UF admins lack a care for football. It's not been good. There's no question about that. It's been a long run of not playing too good. Clayton wants to know, Billy grades players every game. Who's grading Billy? I don't know the answer to that. Again, don't get mad at Billy for being the coach. Joseph says he was happy to see Billy attempt a 2-minute offense before half. Yeah, it was good to see. I did not agree or like what we did on the last play. All we had to do was just throw a hitch by the sideline and get out of bounds. to move the chains and then have an opportunity to maybe kick a field goal. RW says Samford coach has been there like 10 years plus. Ironically, Kirby Smart and Will Muschamp coached under Samford. Yeah, Hatcher's a tremendous coach. Does a great job, but I was shocked at his skill players. Take nothing away from Crittenden. He's a decent little quarterback, but he's not a great thrower. Their quarterback, both their quarterbacks were 5'11". Nothing against 5'11 guys. My kid was 5'10 and a very good player. But you would think in the Southeast, there's got to be a 6'2" kid that loves to throw the football that would have loved to go to Samford and throw it 50 times a game. But that's nowhere near what Samford has been in the past. I was blown away with that. So anyway, this text on the Titan MR text line from William says, Shane, if you were calling the plays, what would your favorite personnel grouping be for the Gators? Well, I love 11 personnel. We run out a lot. So what I would do, I would go, it doesn't matter what tight end is, but my tight end is going to be mainly a blocker, or he's going to be the check down or the shallow cross guy. I would never put him in the slot. It drives me crazy when we line our tight end in the slot. It is not a mismatch. We're playing into the hands of the defense. But I would definitely start Trey Wilson, DK, and Aiden Mizell would be my guys. Badger would be my fourth guy. He would come in, play wherever. But I think DK's a really good guy in the slot. I'd put Trey Wilson on the outside. I think his speed, his elusiveness needs to be on the outside. And I'd play Aiden Mizell because he can run. And then I'd bring Burke in and let him run. Speed. We need speed on the outside. John says Kiffin is worth every dime. Back the Brinks truck to the house. We all know the boosters are sick of their money going to waste. Well, he will be paid a lot if that were to happen. Bill says, finally saw 5 wides this past week. No, you didn't, Bill. But we'll be able to do that more often since it seemed to be. You did not see 5 wide receivers. You saw an empty formation. 5 wides is different than empty. Empty means you still have your 11 or 12 personnel. The back is one of the wide receivers. Your tight end is out there. When I talk about 4 wide receiver sets or 5 wide receivers, I'm talking about 5 dudes in the program that say Trey Wilson, wide receiver, Elijah Badger, wide receiver. That's where we have never done that under Billy Napier. Never done it. Cliff says, I don't like playing the tight end in the slot either, unless it's someone like Kyle. Well, I mean, Kyle Pitts was really a wide receiver. You hardly ever saw him put his hand on the ground and play tight end. John says, Layla Kiffin would love Lane following her dad's footsteps. Well, Layla and Lane aren't married anymore. So she lives out on the West Coast. All right, before we get out of here, Jason on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says Lagway was awesome. Now he's a rookie with major uptick in notoriety. Let's pump the brakes for him. Napier's 1 foot out the door. Yeah, a lot of things are going to need to change. Ryan says, why do I care? Gator Nation is literally sitting here arguing who should start Saturday. That's why I asked the question. Well, we're not arguing. I mean, like I said, I don't care who plays quarterback. I'm more concerned about the defense because I don't think we're any better on defense than we were last year, maybe a tad better. But we'll find out more about this team Saturday. We're playing real big boy football this week. We played big boy football week 1, and it was a disaster. We did not play big boy football last week, and we just dominated the inferior opponent. Now we're back to playing what we're going to be playing the rest of the year. So appreciate y'all chiming in. Tomorrow we'll have JC. We'll do our Peachland Dental picks. We're also supposed to have Billy Lucci from A&M, ags.com joining us. Hopefully that works out. Silverback Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. Coach Spurrier, Steve Russell, and I will be on the air, WRUF Gainesville, 11 p.m. Eastern time today. Have a great day, folks. Take care.